Alrighty, looks like we're in business. I never even turned off the game audio because there was no need to. Like, it was literally just, you know, there was no music. It was just ambience or whatever. Ambience, really. Sound of the waves and everything. I don't know why the background music, the usual background music for this place didn't start playing, but a good thing in this case. There's a submarine! Fancy. Quite big, too. This is it. The emerald weapon. Our whole party just rushing up the stairs. I've been expecting you, hero of Eorzea. Oh yeah? Look, father. This is the power that we command. Who wants to impress daddy? They all do. Mark 5, Anti-Acon War Machina. The emerald weapon. It's very true to form. I like it. The design is very much, I'm still farming the extreme. Big fat tacos. The song slaps. Aw crap, I don't remember this. I keep saying that. That's become a common pattern. Rex, there is no need for us to fight. Let us help you. I'm sorry, father. We've come too far to back down now. He's planning to bring down the whole castrum? What the hell are those? Magnetism. Magnets! How do they work? Holy shit, dude. Oh god, I thought he was gonna use Airtam Storm. I have too much material on my shit! If he does that, we're dead. Yeeted. Well, that's almost just as bad, considering it knocks you off. Well done. Here it comes again, the side scathe or whatever. I know that formation. It was used in Verlitz all those years ago. Side scathe, there it is. Oops. I looked down at my hotbar for 1 fucking second. That's all it takes, folks. This shit ain't easy. It's too late, but it didn't matter. Not this crap again. It's over. So it's come to this. No matter what, I can't afford to lose! Alright, I got things down. Not even you can beat the Empire's finest. Activating Oversoul! Belsar combat data ready. Initiating organic core overwrite. Ali, Alphonse, this is goodbye. Rex! What have you done? The same thing the other ones did. What is the meaning of this? Wait. That glow. Bear witness to the glory of the Empire. Look, it's even his voice. Damn, Belsar, this has got a sting. You're using your own shit against you. This is Verlet at the time of the invasion. Could the synthetic Arsite be causing this? We saw similar illusions with the Ruby weapon, actually. Dalamud and everything. Now it gets hard. Just in case. It's like, if I get hit by that, I'm getting yeeted. Excuse me? Form rings. He made clones of himself. Fire! That one's not gonna fire. Now he is. I couldn't see which one was safe. I like how he's all gold now. He's not emerald anymore. Terminus test. What does all this mean? I moved too late. Well, I'm gonna have to use this now. I got launched straight into the... I don't know what I should do with it. God, I didn't think I was gonna make it out of that. Oh shit! Seems it still there's a delay there when the marker disappears. Woo! Well, that was a lackluster ending, but hey. The matter is, you give it your best shot. Alright. We're done. I still remember when I first did these a long time ago. I died left and right. I also did it as a DPS, so that probably didn't help, but... As I played more as a tank on stream, I've come to realize playing as a tank, unless you're main tanking and there's some mechanics that depend on you doing it right, it's actually like playing on easy mode. I used to think it was easier to play as a DPS, but tank is actually easy mode. As long as you can get past anxiety, basically. Which is more of a social thing, a social anxiety type of thing, rather than more than anything else. Just another scrap heap like Emerald, or sorry, like Sapphire. Well, guys. And so it ends. But why? Sorry, but why would Rex throw away his life? For this? You are right. If I'm ever to learn the truth, I must concentrate on the task at hand. Of course, we do not need to wait for Sid's analysis to tell us whose combat data was used on this occasion. It galls me to think that my techniques and strategies could be so closely replicated. Nevertheless, the observations I made during the battle may yet prove useful. As a matter of fact, that was not the only information I was able to gather. I intercepted a signal that revealed the troops stationed here were permitted to withdraw, seemingly in return for assisting the 7th Legion. They must have known that the Alliance would follow the Emerald Weapon here sooner or later and made good their escape. That's why it's so empty? Meaning the way is now clear for Sid to inspect the War Machina's remains. And we don't have to make a hasty retreat. Alright, sounds good. We got here as soon as we could. Not that we could have done anything to prevent this tragedy. From what we know, it seems that the Emerald Weapon was ilm for ilm a great deal more powerful than the previous two. If this is allowed to continue, who knows what sort of monstrosity the 7th Legion will conceive next. Nevertheless, Leon has once again proven himself capable of overcoming the worst the Empire has at its disposal. You may be relieved to hear that Castrum Occidens was free of anything resembling a weapon. Unfortunately, it was also devoid of any useful leads, and we came away empty-handed. In all honesty, part of me wishes we had never found the Emerald Weapon. Perhaps then Rex would not have been forced to make the ultimate sacrifice. I only hope that he is finally at peace. We will do what we can to spare others from sharing his fate. I and the Ironworks will search this place from top to bottom for clues as to the 7th Legion's plans. Before that, allow me to sweep the area for booby traps and the like. I would not put it past the Imperials to have left a few surprises for us. Agreed. I'll go with you. With that in mind, I'll begin my examination of the Emerald Weapon. Carefully, that is. Alphonse! You knew all this time, didn't you? What else going on? Melisandre and Rykon, too. Everyone except me. And you, Rex? Yes, that's what the synthetic aurosite system is. The fusion between pilot and core is the key to Oversoul. And unless we use it, we don't have a chance of beating Father's newfound friends. They stand between us and the primals, without which the weapons will never reach their full potential. We thought that if you knew the truth about Oversoul, you'd try to stop us. Of course I would. But what I don't understand is why all of you are so willing to give your lives for the weapon project. What is it all for? It all began the day Father left. Without his guidance, his protection, the Garleans lost any respect they once had for us. But their cruelty pales in comparison to Valen's. To him, conscripts like us are expendable commodities, an endless supply of test subjects for his twisted experiments. But no matter what they do to us, we will never lose hope. If it is the duty of the strong to lead the weak, we will become strong and protect those who cannot protect themselves. The weapon project will give us the strength we need. We will create a world where people like us can live without fear of persecution. We want you to see this new world for yourself, Allie, even if we must give our lives to make it a reality. But why me? The years spent serving the Empire have changed us all. Except you, Allie. Even after everything you've seen, you're still the caring, innocent girl we grew up with. More than any of us, you deserve a chance at happiness. That's what we all agreed. But they're all doing it for her. Allie, listen to me right now. Or listen to me. Right now, the soldiers assigned to watch over us have been called away to the capital. Now is our chance to get you out of here. Then why don't you come with me? If Alphonse and I were to run away now, they'd only force others to take our place. We can't let that happen. Wow. This is our way of upholding the ideals Father instilled in us. Our lives are a small price to pay for Verlet's freedom. No! How can you expect me to leave you behind? I won't do it! I will forever be at your side, Ellie. Rex, take her to the holding cells. No! Let me go! This is really the only way they thought they could have secured freedom for Verlet and, for her. But win or lose, the plan is to hand over the castrum to Father. Is that right? Yes. They'll take Allie into their custody before the Garleans return, while you will be free to pilot the Emerald weapon without her interfering. We can't let her hinder the completion of the weapon project. I'm counting on you, Alphonse. Don't let our sacrifices be in vain. Rex, have you forgotten what I told you? You mustn't use Oversoul. I can't lose you too. We both know I can't win without it. Besides, we need the combat data of the Emerald weapon fighting at its peak if we're to have any chance of perfecting the synthetic Aurosite system. You know I'm not the sort to do things by halves. Forgive me, Rex. Don't you worry about me. If this is where I meet my end, I'll do it with a smile on my face. The rest is up to you, Alphonse. There had to have been another way. I don't understand why they felt the need to do things this way. Just to secure Verlet and Allie's freedom. Why didn't they just come to us for help, if that's really what they were after? This is the girl you spoke of, yes? She was locked in a cell, but I saw no harm in letting her out. I can't say for certain, but it seems she's been through quite an ordeal. No. Why, Rex? Why? That was a real voice crack there when I said no. Unintentional. Can't help but choke up at these things. Gaius, once we've extracted the core, we'll take it back to Turncliffe for analysis. Perhaps she should come with us. There's no use in her staying here. Losing her. Her siblings are dropping like flies. I can't imagine the trauma she's going through right now. Deborah's taking care of Allie, but it may be some time until her nerves have settled. If the vision you witnessed is indeed true, Alphonse and Rex locked her away for her own safety. When she is ready, I would know more of what her brother hopes to achieve and why he must resort to such desperate measures. Well, you and me both, guys. You and me both. Allie's condition has improved somewhat, but she remains in a state of shock. We must give her more time to recover. There was one other thing that I thought you should know. When we checked her for injuries, we saw that her back is covered in welts and bruises. Who did this to her? It seems she was subjected to beatings on a regular basis, judging by the varied stages of bruising. I dare say this was the work of her Garlean masters. The same thing happened to her that happened to Alphonse. Well, we didn't see it, but we saw it was implied that was going to happen to him when that guy said he was going to beat the shit out of him to punish him. Whatever his name was, I forgot. You speak as though you have seen this before. Seen? I've lived through it myself. I was born in Verlet, 23 summers past. Okay, finally we get some backstory on her now. My mother was a local woman, but my father was a pure-blooded Garlean and a member of the occupying forces. Oh, that's why her Garlean eye doesn't look quite right. Excuse me. Though I know very little about him, his rank afforded me imperial citizenship. And again, his acknowledgement of our familial ties was the extent of the responsibility he took for bringing me into this world. Still, it is more than can be said for most of his ilk. Yeah. If it was like a sort of wedlock kind of situation where he just, like, didn't even want to take ownership of her, it could have been worse. I think there's plenty of Garleans who would sire children with an Eorzean or whatever, or just a non-Garlean, and then just be like, whatever, good luck. You know, good luck taking care of the kid. I'm out. But yeah, at least he was like, yeah, she's my daughter, give her citizenship. At least. Jesus Christ did the bare minimum for her. My mother and I were shunned by the people of Verlet, who treated us as badly as the Garleans did, if not worse. Well, yeah, your mother because she slept with a Garlean, and you because you're a half-breed. Always the innocent people who end up suffering the most. So fucked up. I thought that if I were to become an Imperial soldier, my position might somehow deter those who would cast scorn on my mother, if only out of fear. And so I joined the army. Found similar to Fordola, but with a lot less bitterness to it. The acceptance I earned was but temporary, however, and my superiors were quick to blame any perceived shortcomings on my savage lineage. Rather than waste time on official court-martials, they administered their own form of corporal punishment. Damn. I was eventually assigned to the 12th Legion and fought under Xenos Galvus in Alamiga. In the chaos that followed our defeat, I seized the opportunity to flee to Verlet. While it was never much of a home, it was all I had, but nothing could prepare me for what awaited. My mother had for many years suffered from poor health and relied on medicines to keep her alive. In my absence, the Garleans had denied her treatment, claiming that it would be wasted on savages. By the time I could return to her side, there was naught I could do. There was nothing left for me in Verlet. I would be punished for desertion if the Imperials discovered the reason for my return, and I was never accepted by my so-called countrymen to begin with. I ran as far as my legs could carry me. It was then that I met Gaius. So that is the truth of it. Other than a few scant details, I knew naught of your past. It sickens me to think that I once fought under the same banner as such vile creatures. Gaius was the only one who actually tried to do what Emmet Self did, right? To treat the conquered with dignity and respect. The rest of the Empire doesn't seem to give a shit. I'd always believed it to be the duty of the strong to lead the weak. Yet there are those who become drunk on the power afforded by their station and prey on the ones they should protect. Yeah, exactly. That. Like a canker, this corruption has spread to every part of the Empire. Even those with Garlean blood, such as myself, are subjected to their cruelties. They hold particular contempt for the aura, an easy target for abuse being so few in number. Perhaps, like me, Allie thought she would be spared such treatment once she joined the army. Alas. He probably feels like shit that he wasn't there for them now. I only hope that, with time, Allie can put the past behind her and make a new life for herself. But for now, all we can do is wait for her delirium to subside. It is Valdelin's turn to keep watch. Let us ask him if there has been any change. According to Gaius, if it was up to him, he would have been one of those very rare so-called benevolent dictators, huh? Ruling the people that he conquered by force with dignity and respect. So far, his actions are consistent with that. But of course now he'll never reach that point of power where he could have shown us if he really would have stayed true to that, ideal or not. Though you have overcome the emerald weapon, it is hardly cause for celebration. Another young life cut short. Yeah. Rex's death is on my hands, not yours. Would that this confrontation had been averted. But alas, it was not to be. I suppose you're here to ask about Allie? Is she well enough to speak with us? As her condition has improved somewhat, I would say so, provided you do not cause her any undue distress. Wait here. Allie, I am sorry. What happened to Rex? It was my fault. Melisandre and Rykon, too. They died because of me and my foolish ambitions. Father, no! This cannot go on. Please, Allie. You must tell me all you know. Of course. First, I need to know what became of you and your siblings after we were parted. So much has happened, it seems like a lifetime ago. After your disappearance, we were all assigned to the newly reformed 7th Legion. At first, each legatus was quickly replaced by the next, until eventually a man named Valens van Vara was given command. He was sent from the capital, but before that, he was a specialist in experimental magitech weaponry. We later discovered that he was ordered by Emperor Varus to complete a project involving anti-primal war machina, the weapons. But after the Emperor's death, he was free to employ whatever methods he saw fit, and his greed for power only grew. Imperialism. Questionable loyalties spawned from that. Some even say he is planning to use the power of the weapons to lay claim to the throne. Sounds about right. His profile so far seems to fit that. But I think there's another reason for his obsession with the weapon project. Not that he'd ever tell anyone, but he's always muttering to himself, and I've been able to put the pieces together. He's jealous of you, Father. Valens van Vara. I must admit, it was only recently that I first heard that name. Valens used his knowledge of magitech to devise various military strategies. He was given a position in the army and quickly rose through the ranks. That was until one man stood in his way. You, Father. He was one of the candidates to lead the new 14th Legion, but that role fell to you. After that, he was assigned to serve under a far more gifted engineer, Nero, who was in charge of restoring the Ultima weapon. Valens has resented you ever since, going so far as to oppose the ideals you upheld. Where you treated those who serve the Empire based on merit rather than on their race or origin, Valens is adamant that pure-blooded Garleans are superior to all others. Excuse me? It never ceases to amaze me how far some will go in the name of revenge. All that hatred festering away. Nothing good could ever come of it. That hit him close to home, didn't it? So the marks on your body are his handiwork? Yes. To Valens and his men, we are no more than fodder for his experiments, playthings on which they can vent their frustrations. Every day is filled with nothing but pain. If I had remained in Garlemald, you would never have been forced to endure this abuse. It's not your fault, Father. We could have fled from Valens if we'd wanted to. After all, we're expendable and easily replaced. The truth is, that's exactly why we couldn't run. Oh, I see. They want to spare others that fate. In saving ourselves, we would be condemning others. But if we were to stay, to see the weapon project to its completion, we would gain the power to defeat Valens, and then the Empire itself, freeing the world from its tyranny. They were always on our side then. They just wanted to work from the inside, so to speak. That way, we might start afresh and find a place we can call home. And not just for us, but for anyone who wishes to live in peace. You would give your lives for a future you may not live to see. Like so many other authentic heroes, honestly, yeah. We took courage from your teachings, Father. The strong must lead the weak, and we would gain that strength by whatever means necessary. We will fight for the sake of those who cannot. But we knew that you'd never consent to our participation in the weapon project, which is why we couldn't turn to you for help. As the pilots, we're the only ones who are able to stop Valens. We know just how powerful the weapons are. He would use them to bring the world to its knees. And his masterpiece is the worst of them all. If only I could get my hands on it. I could save Alphonse and all of Verlet. Father, I know you and Alphonse stand on opposing sides of this conflict, but there must be some way you can help him. He may have called you our enemy before, but he never meant it. He still loves you, Father. You're everything he aspires to be. I have failed him. Failed you all. But I refuse to abandon him to his fate. I will free him from Valens if it is the last thing I do. Thank you. He needs you. Now more than ever. Listen, Ali. I once sought the strength to rebuild the world as I saw fit. But the ultimate weapon was born not to create, but to destroy. Alphonse must not follow in my footsteps. I know all too well where they lead. I will do all I can to help your brother. Pray tell me where he is. He's... I'm sorry. I don't know where he could be. I hope she's not lying about that. In that case, I shall have the Alliance dispatch scouts. Wherever he is, we will find him. As for you, Ali, you must stay here and rest. Wait. You're the one who fought Rex, Rykon, and Melisandre, aren't you? Yeah? We're the ones who threatened your homeland. You only did what you had to do. That is what I said earlier. I think yesterday. It was self-defense, so I didn't have regrets, but... that doesn't make it any easier. I have no right to ask this of you, but... Lend my father your strength. Save Alphonse. I know why they call you a hero. I know now why they call you a hero. The stoic, unflinching, unhesitating nod, saying, I'll do my best. Alphonse, I'll do what I must to free you, even if it means going against Father's wishes. But I have a good feeling about his new friend. She believes in me. Wow. Sevra, see that she has everything she needs. Our allies must be informed of these troubling events. May I ask you to relay this news to the troops in Giribania? Sure. Your loving father act may fool the others, Gaius, but not me. For every life you've saved, you've ended 1,000 more. Or is this your idea of redemption? Call it what you will. For all my transgressions, I believe I still have a part to play. Was I wrong to spare you that day? Or will you honor your word? Seems the time has come for the Black Wolf to show his true colors. Anything else? While I am painfully aware of the cruelty the Empire shows its enemies, even I am appalled to hear of how it treats its own. War-mocking of that feed on the very lives of their pilots. I can scarcely imagine anything more heinous. The majority of the 7th Legion are sure to be stationed in the city of Verlet, the heart of this occupied territory. Whether Alphonse is there with them remains to be seen. According to Ali, another weapon lies in wait, but where, we do not know. Stands to reason, however, that if we were to find it, Alphonse would surely not be far away. We recently received word of your victory over the Emerald weapon. I expect it was another fine display on your part, not that any of us were there to see it. For that reason, we'd be grateful if you could give us a blow-by-blow account, if you wouldn't mind. Easier said than done, but okay. Good grief! It sounds like you had an awful lot to contend with. Excuse me, rather you than me. I shall add this to our ever-growing stack of reports, should anyone wish to review this information ahead of the next sortie. Now, if I may say so, it looks like your ordeals have taken their toll. We'll let you know if anything requires your attention, but until then, be sure to get some rest. Excuse me. Funny how leaning forward can sometimes prevent hiccups. Something to do with the way air pockets form, I don't know. Whew. Meanwhile, in the 7th Legion's correction chamber... Oh, this is not going to be pretty. Three weapons. 3 pitiful displays of ineptitude. Ah! Oh god. Hot irons? Jesus Christ, man. They're branding him permanently. To make matters worse, one of my prime candidates, your precious sister no less, has escaped. Oh! God, that was almost real. I could feel that shit. And who should she go crawling to but that swine Gaius? After everything I've done for her, and this is how she repays me. What a piece of shit, dude. After everything I've done to her, he's gonna say. Fucking sadist. As her older brother, it's your responsibility to instill some discipline in her, and you've failed miserably. And he makes kids do it. God damn, this guy is disgusting. Well, don't just stand there, boy. Oh, of course. It's your first time, isn't it? Come along, there's no need to be shy. And he looks disgusting too. His outer appearance definitely reflects his inner appearance, that's for sure. Inner appearance, you know what I mean. This guy's a piece of garbage. You see, something wicked has taken hold of this young man, and it's our job to cleanse his troubled spirit. It may look painful, but it's the only way, I assure you. He'll be ever so grateful, and you want him to get better, don't you? There's a good boy. Now let's try again, shall we? Burn out the bad. 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 Oh God. Jesus Christ. Ah! This guy heard it. He's trying to write a report and he has to hear that shit. He's just like... Jesus. Another Saturday afternoon for him, right? Well done! You've all made Father proud. Very proud indeed. Like he's trying to emulate Gaius, but like a much more evil version of him. Once they grow up, they'll be next, and they have no idea. As for you... I thought you were a cut above the rest of the savages, but it appears I was mistaken. And since you allowed that wretched sister of yours to escape, it falls to you to act as her replacement. I choose you as the next pilot, and your mission is simple. Kill Gaius Van Belsar, whatever it takes. And if you so much as entertain the idea of betraying me again, I'll exterminate every last one of your kind. Like the vermin they are! That face reminds me of a villain from another movie or TV show I've seen. I can't put my finger on it. Having said that, we will be forcibly initiating Oversoul using Xenos' combat data, so whatever schemes you may be hatching will never come to pass. All you need to do is sit back and let the synthetic Arcite system do the work, with you as its conduit. You should thank me for allowing you to become part of my masterpiece. Your worthless existence will finally have some semblance of meaning. I was hella delayed. Damn, my computer must be running slow. Lord Valens, preparations for the Oversoul trial are complete. We await your orders. Splendid. There's never a dull moment around here. Now then, boys, who'd like to see something special? Come along, everyone. Father has secrets to share with you. Man, they really nailed making this guy be really creepy and disgusting, didn't they? Even this guy's put off by it. Like, he's just kind of like, holy shit. But, you know, he stays in line. He doesn't raise his nose up at it or anything. He's just kind of like, I'm just trying to get by. I'm doing my job. See? He's like, sucks to be them, but oh well. Considering his burns are on his back, that's gotta hurt. This is my chance. And it's all thanks to the sacrifices made by my dear siblings. Finally, the weapon will be mine to command. Once it has reached perfection, I will be unstoppable. First Valens, and the Empire itself will fall, and we will be free at last. Father, keep Alex safe. Melisandre, Rykon, Rex, I'll see this through to the end. I promise. Until then, watch over me. His smile, dude. So, is it ready or not? The trial sequence has been primed, sir. Who's the scared woman and child, though? Then get on with it. They seem out of place here. What the hell's going on? Initiating synthetic R-Sight system. Loading diamond weapon simulation. Figures. Who's this guy? Well, what's going on? You're helping us with a little research is all. Whatever your name is. The time has come for you to contribute to the glory of Garlemald. This isn't what we agreed. You said that if I took part in the experiment, you'd let my family go. You have Xenos' data loaded, yes? Activate Oversoul and be quick about it. Understood, Lord Valens. I said he'd let your family go, but probably not you. Galvus combat sample ready. Initiating organic core override. No! Jesus Christ, this has got to be... I can't imagine what this is going to look like when it's over. My mind is... No! If this is what it takes to protect you both, I love you. I'm so sorry. Oh God, we actually get to see some of it. Jesus. I can only imagine he probably just got turned into a gooping pile of paste. Where is my prey? That's talking just like Xenos. Organic core override complete. Xenosia Galvus data loaded. The subject is instinctively bound to seek out prey right from the outset. Regardless of the combat prowess it may boast, I need an obedient servant, not a ravenous beast. Ha! Yeah, that's Xenos, a ravenous beast, not an obedient servant. Enough. Shut it down. Deactivating synthetic Arcite system. Probably just gonna be a pile of mush in there. Oh god, are they gonna show us it? Okay, not a pile of mush, but close enough. Oof. How revolting! What a mess it makes of a cockpit. Adjust the settings and prepare for another run. Fortunately, we have the next test subject ready and waiting. His wife and kid. So much for letting them go. But, sir, you agreed to release his family in exchange for his cooperation. Looks like you're gonna be the next test subject, then. Yeah, he's fucking lost it. My! I never knew you had such a wonderful sense of humor. The great Valens Van Varro, bargaining with savages? Ha! More fool him for trusting me in the first place. And he's like, Jesus Christ. This is the dude I'm working with? Or working for? Damn, even his researchers had no idea what a sick puppy they had on their hands, huh? The Emerald Weapon. The Emerald Weapon, War Machina developed by the 7th Imperial Legion as a successor to the Ultima Weapon. The third reported instance of the synthetic Arcite system being employed in battle. Combat data from Gaius Van Belsar, former legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion, was used as a basis for its attack parameters. Our analysis concludes that any data collected after Van Belsar commenced his invasion of Eorzea was lost following his defeat at the Praetorium. Therefore, the data used in the Emerald Weapon must have been gathered in the days prior to the 7th Umbral Calamity. His gunblade techniques and tactics involving multiple soldiers bearing ranged weapons were incorporated into War Machina's armaments. In particular, the floating manipulators that could be positioned at various locations around the battlefield. The Emerald Weapon is believed to have been transported from the Imperial base in Turncliffe to Castrum Marinum, where it underwent final adjustments. It was then finally destroyed in an operation spearheaded by Leon Starcrest. And Rex? Rex, pilot of the Emerald Weapon. All other information regarding the subject was gained via verbal testimony of Gaius Belsar. This former civilian of Verlitz was orphaned at a young age when an epidemic killed his parents. He was later fostered by Gaius and was raised alongside several others in an imperial orphanage. He was known for being extroverted and outgoing, and his lack of restraint often made him the center of attention. However, this was accompanied by an explosive temper, and he would often confront those he believed were threatening his foster siblings with little regard for rank or social status. He later joined the Weapon Project in order to support his foster brother Alphonse. His final mission was to pilot the Emerald Weapon, which ended with him becoming fused with its core and perishing shortly after. Estimated age at time of death, 18 years old. They're just kids, man. Like I said, I don't have regrets defending myself and Eorzea, but it doesn't make it easier. Still feels like shit. Alright. Here, I think I might have gotten you some new inspiration. The Emerald Weapon. Why, yes, of course. Just a moment, please. What do you got? Oof. Odds be good. This thing weighs a tons. Perhaps I should have used lighter materials. That is pretty big, and it's even floating. How the hell did you manage that? the hell did he even pick that up? It's humongous compared to the ruby bust. So, what do you think? Is it every bit as terrifying as the foe you faced? Behold, the malevolent Malachite? Marauder, the vicious Viridian villain, the Jumentus Jade Giant. Actually, perhaps not that last one. Anyway, it's the Emerald Weapon! Oh, this guy gets way too excited about this shit. I assure you, I spared no expense in making it as true to life, so to speak, as possible. Yeah, you got floating hands somehow. What the fuck? The information we received regarding its design revealed several startling details. Perhaps most surprising of all were the free-floating manipulators, or hands if you prefer, which allowed it to attack from multiple angles simultaneously. Right? We even learned that their positioning was based on tactics used by Gaius himself when he led the Imperial invasion of Verlit. By surrounding the target, they are able to bombard it from all sides while keeping it pinned down. Leon's already sick of hearing this dude. Not only that, but the Emerald Weapon was able to perfectly replicate Gaius' renowned Terminus-esque gunblade technique, though on a much larger scale. I wish I could have been there to see it for myself. Ooh, you're so lucky. Goodness me, all this talking has made me rather parched. No shit. Leon's like, you're telling fucking me. I'm bored as shit listening to you talk. But before I pour myself a nice glass of local Arak, I think it's time for us to fire up the real Virtuality Combat Simulation Experiencator, sorry, I almost said Experinator, to see what wonders it can conjure. He sounds like that villain-esque guy from, whatever that dumb cartoon TV show was. I can't remember. Anything could happen, so don't say I didn't warn you. The way he names this thing is similar to the way that villain I'm thinking of named his weapons and experiments and shit. Castra Marinum Extreme. Never done it before. Well, I guess that's it for now. You have fun with your little bust there, buddy. I would take a break, but, I mean, the queue time was so long. I'm just like... Wait, actually, let me see, how long has it been since we finished the fight? Okay, we were still mid-fight an hour ago. So it's been an hour since, or just under an hour since we finished the battle. Noted. Oh yeah! Forgot to show this before we started the queue for the Emerald Weapon. Y'all remember the near raids from yesterday? I found a familiar face while doing Leap of Faith, just casually on an alternate character this morning right before I started streaming. Let me jump ahead, because it takes a minute before we see him. I might be able to see him already now. Look who it is! It's, yeah, this guy. The Rogadin in the near leggings, wearing hardly anything else. He was in the 3rd Alliance raid with us yesterday morning, so I was like, oh shit, it's this guy! He didn't pull out his blades, his ninja blades, to do flips like I did while I was jumping through this, but that was his lump, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so it's barely been about less than an hour, so we can keep going. So if anything, I'll probably take my break when the queue starts again, because it's probably going to be another half hour, like always. For the next fight, I mean. In memory. The Resistance troops wish to help their newfound allies in Turncliffe. Ah, Leon! I was hoping I might have a word with you. What's up, buddy? Ever since Turncliffe was liberated, we've been sending troops to aid in getting the town back on its feet. helping the residents, that sort of thing. We Alamegans know how hard life can be for a society struggling to stand on its own after years of Imperial rule. A lot of what most people would take for granted has to be rebuilt from the ground up. While we're able to assist when it comes to providing basic resources and keeping the place safe, there are countless other problems that need attending to. Excuse me. If you can spare the time, we could use your help. Sure. Bless you, Leon. You really are a saint. I'm sure the people of Turncliffe will benefit from having someone like you around. Once you're ready, have a word with your usual escort. I wish you all the best. Thanks, buddy. This is actually a different guy. Usually the other one over there. Oh, but I think this guy's the one who specifically takes you to Verlet, sorry. So, the boss roped you into helping, did he? I knew you couldn't say no. Unfortunately. Much to esteem / praise the, what is it? Dismay, there we go. Any new developments with you guys? The majority of the 7th Legion are sure to be stationed in the city of Verlet, the heart of this occupied territory. Whether Alphonse is there with them remains to be seen. According to Ali, another weapon lies in wait, but where we do not know. It stands to reason, however, that if we were to find it, Alphonse would surely not be far away. He says the same thing as before. Guys might have said the same thing too, but I didn't remember it. Former Imperial conscript. Oh shit. Did we liberate, like, his family and stuff so he doesn't have to work for the Empire anymore? I've been separated from my family ever since I was forced into the army, but I was able to sneak away in the confusion. I've got you and your friends to thank for that. My main concern is that Legatus Valens won't take this lying down. That man is like a dog with a bone. Once he sinks his teeth in, he never lets go. He'll be back, I'm sure of it. Well, we'll be waiting for him. Fuck that guy. Milady, you okay? You! You're the one who piloted the War Machine and defeated the Sapphire weapon, aren't you? I thought so. I've heard much about you, but I doubt you know who I am. My name is... Avelinia? Yeah, never met. And I grew up here. I stayed throughout the occupation and was put to work as a Magitech engineer. Thanks to you and yours, we are now rid of the Imperials, though I fear many of us will struggle to put the past behind us. For 10 long years, we suffered at their hands. A whole generation of young people were forced into the army and sent off to die in some distant land. I suppose I could be considered one of the lucky few. My work here kept me away from the battlefield, and I hope that my contributions might help the others live long enough to make their way home. In the end, most of them never returned. Though my efforts were in vain, I can at least honor their memory. I want to leave something behind for their sake, to prove that they haven't been forgotten. A monument bearing their names. To ensure that not a single person is omitted, I'd need to see the official list of conscripts. If one still exists, it would be inside the Imperial facility beneath the town, but with the Resistance troops and Ironworks engineers closing the place off, I can't get near it. Perhaps you might have a word with them for me? I'll leave as soon as I find the list. Leave it to me. Thank you. I'll follow your lead. Speak with the burly engineer. Avelina? I'll let you do the talking if that's alright. Sure. Something I can help you with? Yeah. My lady here needs to go inside. Look some shit up. I see. It's a bit unusual for one of the locals to show an interest in the Imperial's leavings, but it seems she has her reasons. Hope she's not the spy. Since we're still carrying out our investigations, we've closed the place off to prevent anyone interfering. Considering it's you who's asking, though, I can hardly say no. Still, I'd better go with her in case the others kick up a fuss. You're very kind. Everything turned out okay? I'm sorry for any trouble I've caused. You have my thanks. Think nothing of it. I was glad to help. As I'd suspected, the Imperials kept detailed records of the local conscripts. One name in particular stood out to me. My friend, Melisandre. I had no idea she'd been assigned to the 7th Legion, of all places. How did you know her? Hey, been lurking. I see you peeking around the corner there. Hope you're having a fine morning. A fine Sunday morning. Welcome back to the stream. Happy to have you. It all began while we were serving together in the 14th Legion. We had much in common, both being drafted from the same occupied territory, and we soon became firm friends. Then one day she was sent to fight in Eorzea while I remained here. The day before she left, she came to say goodbye, together with her foster siblings from the orphanage. She knew she wasn't coming back. So basically the day we fought Ruby Weapon. The youngest one, Rykon, was particularly upset about not being allowed to speak with their adoptive father, Gaius van Belsar, before they departed. It was actually another of his orphans, Livius S. Junius, who forbid them from seeing him. Wait, what? Okay, so this is way before the Ruby Weapon thing, then. She was one of Gaius' orphans? I can't say for certain, but it seemed that Livia had a strong attachment to Gaius and wouldn't let anyone else near him. Oi. This brings up some kind of creepy imagery. I mean, how much older was she than the rest of the orphans? Because we saw a scene in Realm Reborn that heavily implied that Gaius and Livia were fucking. So... y'all remember that scene where he was like... he tells her right before he fucks off, he's like, meet me in my quarters in 1 hour. In his room, alright? As far as I could tell, he tried his best to keep Livia at arm's length whenever possible, but her devotion to him was bordering on obsession, and she became extremely jealous at the slightest sign of affection between him and his other wards. You don't say. I mean... who do I recognize here? Others, however, treated them far more kindly. In fact, a Praefectus Castrorum of the 14th Legion came specifically to meet them. So that's Rex over there. Rykon, right? Alphonse. Ali. And then this is the girl we're talking to right now. Who's the pink-haired girl? While I was surprised that Rogadin had risen to such a rank, I was even more taken aback by the unguarded manner in which he spoke with his subordinates. I had hoped that with people like him serving on the Eorzean front, they would be in safe hands. Then, the time came for Melisandre to leave. We shared a few final words, and then she was gone. It would be the last I ever saw of her. Is the pink-haired girl supposed to be, I want to be right. I don't think... you know what? We never saw Livia without her helmet. But I don't think she was an aura. She would have had a tail. So no. I think that's someone else. I don't think they showed Livia in that flashback. I'm not sure why they would bother making a character model for her when she's been dead forever. But, yeah, I don't think... what the fuck was that? After that, I was assigned to the Tribunus what the fuck? Laticlavius of the 14th, Nero Tolskeva, and I worked on restoring the Ultima weapon. I was even at the Praetorium when the day was destroyed, but I escaped aboard an Imperial ship moments before it came crashing down. I eventually made my way back to Verlet, only to be drafted into the 7th Legion to continue working on the weapon project. Damn. Even now, it makes me sick to my stomach to think I'd helped bring those abominations into the world. Using a living pilot to feed the weapon's core was part of the design from the very beginning. Of course, they'd never dream of subjecting a true-born Garlean to such barbaric treatment. Not when the 7th Legion has a ready supply of provincial conscripts ripe for the taking. The pilots were referred to only by their code names, and we engineers were not made privy to their true identities. Even with this list of conscripts, I still don't know who was sacrificed in the name of the weapon project. Well, then let's just bring an end to the weapon project. Together. It's the best thing we can do now. But what can I do? For years, all I've known is how to build tools of destruction. The 7th Legion is far from finished. They're biding their time, waiting until the right moment to unleash the final weapon. And when they do, it will bring naught but death and woe to all who stand in their way. Even after everything they've taken from us, they still want more. If it weren't for the Empire, Melisande would still be here. She was the kindest person I ever met, but to the Empire, she was just another pawn in their games. I will never forget her. There's a way I can make a difference. I know there is. But first, I need to speak with members of the Ironworks. I have a feeling that War Machina you used to beat the Sapphire weapon will be called into action again. Until then, there's still time to make improvements, and I intend to help. I'll still be going ahead with the plan to build a monument, but stopping the Empire must come first. I hope Melisande and the others can wait a little longer. I'm sure they won't mind. Before I go, allow me to express my gratitude. I don't know what I'd have done if it weren't for you. Until we meet again. Take care. Well, what can I say? I'm a good listener. But I also just helped her gain access to the facility that she wanted to poke around in. Oh wait, we're just going back there. I can just talk to this guy. How much does it cost if I don't use? Okay. I consider them, even though they're nowhere near each other geographically, I consider them like they are, just to be fair to the player. In case you don't want to go through talking to this guy, even though it's free and you actually end up closer to the quest marker than if you teleport. Have to be careful. So, how was your time in Turncliffe? I see. Excuse me? Fate has dealt her a cruel hand, but now she has a chance to make a fresh start. The same could be said of the whole of Turncliffe. Seems the liberation of that one small town will become a pivotal moment in Verlet's history. Perhaps it won't be too long before the rest of the region is free from the Empire. Naturally, we'd be honored to fight alongside the people of Verlet. We won't rest until the Imperials are sent fleeing with their tails between their legs. Until that day arrives, we'll carry on doing our bit to support you and the others in ending the weapon project. I'll be sure to pass on any pertinent information. In the meantime, take care. You too, buddy. Duty in the Sky with Diamond. You've come at the right time. There have been some developments in Verlet we'd like to share with you. And as luck would have it, here comes the ideal person to explain the situation. Thanks, I'll take it from here. I'm glad to see you looking so well, Leon. Holy shit, it's Monado! It's been too long! Oh my god, that's fucked up. It's been too long, Monado. I'm not gonna forget a cutie like her, come on. Yes, it certainly has. I haven't seen you around Rogger's Reach much lately. Anyone would think you're trying to avoid me. Please. The opposite, milady. I've just been busy. You know how it is. Heroes don't get any rest. Unfortunately. But, as much as I'd love to stand around chatting, I'm afraid I've got some serious business to discuss. There's also Lisa's BFF, basically. Following the liberation of Turncliffe, it seems the people of Verlet also have their hearts set on freeing themselves from the grip of the Empire. Of course. Like-minded citizens have rallied under the banner of Verlet revolutionaries, and they aim to depose the 7th Legion that currently occupies the city. Their ranks include many former conscripts, and between them they possess no small amount of combat experience. The only thing they lack is someone to lead them. After much consideration, they decided to turn to none other than Gaius Belsar. Of course, many would balk at the thought of turning to a former enemy, and many did, but desperate times call for desperate measures. His reputation as a legatus speaks for itself, and as most Alamegans will attest, he was a far more reasonable and pragmatic leader than his predecessor, the Mad King Theodoric. Or his successor, Xenos, for that matter. So he did treat the people of Alamigo with dignity and respect. More so than Xenos, of course. Yeah. But, most importantly, he was the one who led the invasion of Verlet in the first place. So who better than him to take it back? After accepting their offer, he requested the delivery of additional arms and provisions from the Alamigan resistance. Not that we have much to spare at present, but we'll do what we can. While my comrades see to the preparations, I've been assigned to meet with them in person. Or with him in person. I was wondering, could you accompany me to Turncliffe? Sure, it'd be my pleasure, lady. Thanks, Leon. To be perfectly honest, coming face to face with the Black Wolf is a rather daunting prospect, even if he has supposedly turned over a new leaf. But I'm sure having you there will make a world of difference. Hey, if I can help you feel more confident about talking to him, that's something. I believe you're acquainted with our escort, yes? Let him know when you're ready to get going. Sure thing. I like their little hoods. Basically representing an eagle. Because, you know, Alamigo's standard is an eagle. That makes sense. Looks really cool. Another trip to Turncliffe, is it? Yep. Been a long time coming, but finally, Verlet will throw off the shackles of Imperial rule. Tell him, buddy. Tell him. Many of my comrades were dead against having Gaius Belsar of all people lead the charge, but as I always say, if you want a job done properly, hire a professional. Not a bad motto, yeah. After all, he's already conquered Verlet once, so I'm certain he'll be just as successful a second time. Yeah, I'm sure. Jesus. That was close. I wanted to finish what he was saying, so... Let me talk to him from over here. What's up, guys? Gaius Belsar, I presume? I come bearing the Alamigan Resistance's official reply to your request for aid. Here you go. I see. You have my thanks. Does this mean we can finally make our move? With the assistance of the Alamegans, we will soon have sufficient arms at our disposal to stand a chance at victory. But lest we forget, the 7th Legion has been conserving its strength thus far, and we must be prepared for severe casualties should its full might be brought to bear. If our lives must be the price of freedom, we will pay it willingly. Let me be clear. We Alamegans have not forgotten that it was you who led the invasion of our homeland. The blood of our fallen loved ones is on your hands. Even so, the people of Verlet chose you to lead the revolution, and we will honor their decision. I only hope they will not come to regret it. As do I. Should I be found unworthy of their trust, I shall submit to their judgment and whatever that may entail. Forgive me, but might we return to the task at hand? First, I would like to discuss the transportation of supplies from Alamigo. This way, if you please. Alright, well they're gonna fuck off and go talk logistics for a while. Once again, I prepare to lead an army into Verlet. The irony is not lost on me. Good. It is a cruel twist of fate that these people, so desperate from years of oppression, should turn to their conqueror for salvation. For most of my life, I believed that only the Empire possessed the strength and wisdom to lead mankind. That only through great sacrifice could civilization hope to thrive. And so I led the conquest of Eorzea, forcing the doctrine of Garlemald upon the ignorant and uncivilized. In every territory I sought out those with the potential for greatness, without regard for one's birth or circumstances, that they may serve the Empire. But there are those such as Valens who see being born Garlean a virtue in itself, one above all others. To think that a monster such as him should be granted the position of legatus and everything that entails. It makes my blood boil. You're not the only one. Valens brings shame upon our homeland and makes mock of the ideals it once stood for. By my hand he shall pay for his foul crimes. We are running out of time, Gaius. We have to go after her. What's going on? There is something I would show you, but not here. Come with me. Oh, where's this going? Why did Allie have to keep this all a secret? We could have helped her. Oh shit, what's going on? You must keep this to yourself. I do not want the soldiers to think I am being distracted by personal matters. This letter was found in her room. Damn it. Dear Father, I am sorry for leaving without saying goodbye, but the thought of Alphonse suffering alone is more than I can bear. For his sake, and for the freedom of Verlet, I have decided to take matters into my own hands. I know of a way to save them, a way to end it all. I have to seize this chance before it is too late. My mind is set. Please do not try to stop me, Father. The days we spent together were the happiest of my life, and no matter what happens, nothing can take that away from me. With all my love, Allie. She is heading for the 7th Legion's stronghold in Verlet. I am certain of it. Taking matters into her own hands. She must be planning to take control of one of the weapons. If so, there's no time to waste. We have to mobilize our forces and save Allie and Alphonse. I want nothing more than to save them, but I cannot ask the Verlet revolutionaries to risk their lives to rescue 2 Imperial soldiers. In any case, if we were to rush into battle without adequate preparation, the 7th Legion would tear our partisan army to shreds. Excuse me? And as capable a warrior as Leon is, if he were to charge headlong into the heart of the enemy, he would be overwhelmed by sheer numbers. This is true. I'm not a fucking god. I'm not invincible. But if we don't do something, Allie and Alphonse are as good as dead. I know, Sevra. And so did Allie when she wrote that letter. Returning alive was never part of her plan. Shooting star. I caught that. Severa feels for her a lot because she was able to relate to her when we first met her and she told us about the torture she underwent. They both went through the same thing. That's why Severa cares for her so much. Can you hear me? I'm in Verlet, just outside Castrum Colonum. All hells have broken loose. There was an enormous explosion, and through the smoke and flames I saw what appeared to be another weapon. At this rate, the entire... Confound it. We have lost the signal. Where is it? He's not dead, alright, but we lost contact with him. It's as good as being dead until you're confirmed being alive. This must be what Ali spoke of in her letter. The way to end it all. Alphonse and the others were planning this from the beginning. Rebelling against the Empire using the weapons, yeah. To bring the weapon project to completion and use it to free Verlet from the Empire, even at the cost of their own lives. If the revolutionaries were to hear that a weapon has been unleashed upon the Imperial headquarters, they would see it as the perfect opportunity to strike. If it's running amok, it may not distinguish between our allies and the Imperials. A large force would draw too much attention, but the three of us should be able to get close enough without it noticing us. He's not wrong. Between us, we'll find a way to save them. I cannot allow it. This is my burden to bear, and I shall bear it alone. I'll have you know, my record for surviving dangerous missions is impeccable. So far. Trying to inspire confidence. Very well. For the time being, I will have the revolutionaries stand by and await my signal. An opportunity to reclaim Verlet may yet present itself, but we must first be allowed to remove the threat of this new weapon. Severa, have Sid ready the G-Warrior. Understood. Gangster Warrior. That's what we're calling it now. Once your preparations are complete, let us reconvene outside the hangar. Sometime earlier, in the 7th Legion's Verlet headquarters... Check something real quick. Nah, that loaded up faster than I thought it would. Good thing it wasn't auto-scrolling, right? It's fixing my mic here. Yeah. How wonderful it is to see you again, my dear. I was beginning to think that you weren't coming back. In my impatience, I may have vented my frustrations on that brother of yours. I do hope you'll forgive me. Lord Valens, you mentioned before that the previous weapons were merely prototypes used to gather combat data within their cores. Yes, very good. I see we're paying attention after all. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. The primals they absorbed and the data they accumulated will serve a singular purpose. The completion of my masterpiece, the diamond weapon. But, while you and your siblings were able to retrieve the necessary data from the Ruby weapon before Gaius and his lackeys arrived, Sapphire and Emerald were handed to the enemy on a silver platter. Those worthless curs failed to meet even my exceedingly low expectations. Well, she really wants to kill him right now. As detailed in my report, I took it upon myself to infiltrate Gaius Belsar's band of rebels and reclaim the data. Yes, you have done well, my dear. My engineers have already finished feeding it to the diamond weapon. Of course. So, it's likely that that other girl we talked to and helped was working with her on this. So I was half right, she was kind of a spy. But she wasn't working for the Garlands per se, just her, Allie. I'm guessing that's how she got the data. And all that remains is for me to assume my role as its pilot, and for you to release my brother and the rest of our compatriots as per our agreement. Of course, of course. A handful of savages is a small price to pay for your remarkable talents. Even though the weapon project's revolutionary technology allows even an untrained pilot to fight with the skills of a veteran soldier, only the truly gifted can draw out the full potential of the synthetic arcite. In addition to their physical attributes and combat prowess, I require unwavering loyalty before I can even consider entrusting a candidate with one of my creations. And you are everything I desire. I am honored that you regard me so highly, Lord Valens. However, in return for my continued cooperation, I wish to propose an extra condition to our arrangement. I request that the people of Verlet be given full imperial citizenship and the right to self-govern. That's asking a lot. My, how very bold of you, and quite astute at that. Yes, I could grant the people of Verlet citizenship if I so desired. Unfortunately, a mere legatus such as myself is in no position to simply relinquish control of imperial territory on a whim. Come now. We both know that the weapons are but a means to an end. Oh, she's calling them out. You're like, look, I know you're going to try to take over the empire, the entire empire by yourself with the weapons. Your true intent is to march on the capital and claim it for yourself, correct? Once you have taken the throne, one small territory would seem a fair reward for those who played a vital role in the ascension of Emperor Valens. He's like, damn, she knows me. I say, for someone so sweet and innocent, you certainly drive a hard bargain. Very well, if it's Verlet you want, it's yours. I'll soon have no need for this stinking backwater province anyway. As if he's gonna honor that deal like he did with the other guy. He probably ended up using his wife and child as a diamond weapon test subjects after that scene. And what about my brother? Ah, yes, Ulwick. Or was it Alfred? Whatever his name is, you needn't worry. I've made special arrangements for him. You'll be perfectly safe, provided you uphold your side of the agreement. Excellent! Now let's get you aboard the diamond weapon, shall we? Ah, one step closer to my coronation. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I know this isn't what Father would have wanted, but it's the only way. Please forgive me. It is. Looking very heavily very accurate to FF7 and FF15's portrayal of Diamond Weapon. Initiating the synthetic arcite system. All sensors activated. So far, so good. Diamond Weapon, codenamed Xenos. Commencing activation sequence. Behold, perfection itself. Melisandre, Rykon, and Rex gave their lives. Got ahead of myself there. That others may live without fear. The arcite is taking hold. Whatever you're gonna do, you better do it now. I'm just glad that you didn't have to go through this, Alphonse. But you'll have to go on without me. You and Father still must work together to... Ah! I'm sorry I can't be there at your side. This is the only way. What's that, my dear? Is something the matter? He has no idea what's coming. The diamond weapon is mine! Your tyranny ends here, Valens.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Finally, a very appropriate place to use that. You would think they would have some kind of emergency shutdown in case somebody decided to do that. Low-born filth! If you think your little performance had me fooled, you are sorely mistaken! What are you waiting for? Shut it down! Yes, my lord. Transmitting deactivation signal. I mean, it seemed to me like you fell for it. This guy trying to act like he wasn't fooled. Ugh, it's not responding! That insolent whelp had me worried for a moment. He looks scared, alright. Bring her to me alive, even if it means damaging the machine. When I am through with her, she will beg for death. That look on his face. Excuse me, Jesus. No, I can't let it end like this. Melisandre, Rykon, Rex, guide my hand. What are you gonna do? Alphonse, wherever you are, lend me your strength. Combat sampled, ready. Initiating overmind. Subject name... Can't even talk. But if it responded to her calling out and her tears, well... Overmind? What is that? Ah! Something new, apparently. It's not the same as Oversoul, it sounds like. This can't be! It's ignoring the shutdown signal and initiating Overmind. But how? I don't care how! Stop that thing before it brings down the whole castrum!
Surprise, motherfucker.
His face when he started screaming actually went quite well with that. Were it not for you, I suspect Gaius would have ventured into Verlet by himself with little more than a gunblade for protection. Thank you for persuading him to take a less rash course of action. Of course. I was unable to save Melisandre, Rykon, and Rex, but there may yet be hope for Ali and Alphonse. Well, let's get to it then. Ready to depart? I'll send for Master Garland. We all expected another weapon to appear sooner or later, but not quite like this. According to Valdolin, after it finished laying waste to the headquarters of the 7th Legion, it took to the sky. Though this has dealt a massive blow to the Imperial forces, I am certain that Ali is on board the weapon. It must be halted before she comes to harm, and for that, I need the G-Warrior and airships to transport it. I see that one thing hasn't changed since your days as a Black Wolf. Your penchant for gigantic war machina. He's a fan of Gundam. He watched it all the time growing up. But if this means the G-Warrior has another chance to shine, I'd be happy to oblige. Only this time, rather than having it unceremoniously towed by airships, I have a more dynamic entrance in mind. Oh yeah? What's that, Sid? Oh hey, Avelina. It's good to see you again, Leon. From what I hear, we have you to thank for Avelina volunteering to help the Ironworks. Since she joined the team, our work has come on leaps and bounds. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to finally put my knowledge and skills to good use. And as far as I can tell, your target is the diamond weapon, the most powerful of them all. What's worse, its design incorporates all of the combat data and abilities of the other weapons, making it far more formidable than those you encountered before. So I heard. I guess she wasn't working with Allie then, after all. I guess Allie did it all on her own somehow. Thankfully, we've had time to prepare for such an occasion. Would you care to elaborate? Let me put it like this. Thanks to Avelina's tireless dedication, the G-Warrior has been reborn. Oh, really? But there'll be time to explain more on the way. Come on, the Enterprise is waiting. Count me in, Sid, as always. I'm down for a scrap. Holy shit!
Surprise, motherfucker. What?
Very impressive. But may I ask what purpose it serves? Since our objective is to rescue the pilots, we've added a means of capturing the diamond weapon. We come to save lives, not to end them, and for that reason, G-Warrior has been reborn. I present to you the G-Savior. Alright, I'll stop. The G-Savior, huh? Can you get any more corny and cheesy, Sid? Not that I don't like the idea, of course I love it, but I'm always down to save lives rather than end them myself, so I'm not gonna argue with it, but I feel like the name could have been... I don't know. It's just cheesy. That's all it is. The name is just cheesy. If you're heading for Turncliffe, just say the word. Nothing. Lena? You're off to save Melisandre's foster siblings, Alphonse and Allie, aren't you? Please, do whatever you can to bring them back safely. Do my best. Deborah? While you and guys deal with the diamond weapon, I'll be doing my best to aid Valdelin's safe return from Berlit. Hopefully he's taken advantage of the chaos to make good his escape. Yeah, that's true, we do have that guy too. Behind enemy lines, I forgot about that. I'll be monitoring the situation from the Enterprise. Should things take a turn for the worse, I'll be ready to intervene. Count on you, Sid. Guys? Once again, Sid and his engineers have provided precisely what we required before we even knew it ourselves. Yeah, he has a knack for doing that. Due to the added complexity, we'll have Gaius pilot while Leon handles the various armaments. Agreed. There will be little opportunity for us to grow accustomed to our roles, but even so, we must succeed at all costs. The cloud deck. Seems the controls are the same as the previous iteration. Though it has been some time since I last piloted War Machina of a Login origin, lack of practice is no excuse for failure. Clouddeck. Intelligence from Berlin indicates that a previously unknown weapon is laying waste to the 7th Imperial Legion's headquarters. Though it seems improbable that the War Machina could turn against its creators, a letter left by Ali reveals her intention to commandeer the weapon and rescue her brother Alphonse from the Imperials. Together with Gaius and Sid, you formulate a strategy not to destroy but to capture the rampaging machine before any harm can come to its pilot. Excellent, let's do it! Hey Deathling Dutch! Welcome back to the stream! Hope you're having a fine weekend, you and Aiden Lorcan. Thank you both for coming by and keeping me company. Now before I queue, in case by some miracle it's actually instantaneous, which I doubt it will be, but just in case it is, I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick and I'll be right back, so... BRB.